again, Insteaders. I am back to talk to you about one of my favorite things,
These are a few of my favorite things.
the rolling earthquake, or our camper. This was a little bit of background. I'll tell you, Sheila does not camp. She made it very clear to me. I used to camp as a Boy Scout. We used to have a little pop-up camper. She was like, no, no, no. She stays in hotels. So that was pretty well defined by Sheila. She did not want to camp. So it took me by a little bit of a surprise when it was her suggestion that when my father passed away, we had a little bit of an inheritance, and she suggested that we get a camper. So we started looking and doing some research, and we decided to get this particular camper. So the where the cheap meets practical really actually does suit very well with a camper. Mostly because we use it for a lot of different things. So, first off, it is a mobile hotel room, obviously. That's the easy part of it. But there's some side benefits as well. So, in addition to being able to explore the country, and we're going to take it, we take it every once in a while down to Disney. We've taken it once to the mountains. We've taken it once to the beach. On some little short trips. But the really cool part about it is while it's sitting in our driveway, it also acts as a storage unit. We can store things in it that we don't really have space for otherwise, and it's contained and weather tight. It also acts as emergency living on the off chance we were to have an AC failure in our house. We plug in the camper, and while it's not ideal, we can sleep out in air-conditioned comfort in our driveway in the camper. So it also has a little bit of, we've used it once when one of the kids got COVID, and so we had it kind of like a little quarantine unit. Was the camper for a week, while they recovered from COVID, and that way, nobody else would catch it. So a lot of cool little aspects of that. So why did we choose this particular camper? This one is what I call small but mighty. It's on the smaller side of a travel trailer. It's roughly about 30 feet long, but it does not have slide outs. What is there is what's going to be there. You don't have an additional slide out capability. The reason that we chose that is the more research I did on travel trailers that have slide outs is they have a lot of problems. So fuses go bad and the slide can't come back in. They get damaged, they get leaks. So to avoid that, yes, we're avoiding having the additional real estate from the slide out, but we're avoiding the hassles. And in addition to it, when we go camping, we just pull right into our spot, drop the jacks, level everything up, connect the water and the sewer and the electrical, and we're done. We can go to bed. Where with the slide outs, you kind of have to plan a little bit ahead, make sure you're not moving your slide outs into a tree or anything like that. So we're able to get set up much quicker. Because ours is a relatively small one, we needed it to be light, or relatively light as the case may be, because the Tahoe that we pull it with has a 7,700 pound towing capacity, and you want to really maintain well under that to give you a little bit of a safety buffer. But even still, we had to invest in a trailer brake controller, and it came with a weight distributing hitch, which definitely helps keep it straight on the highway. But as you can imagine, when you've got teenagers, they like their space, and being limited on space and keep bumping into each other, and and not having a lot of space to spread out and do makeup and hair and whatnot else, um, they were not as pleased.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
So they were kind of wondering why this one. But it does have sleeping capacity for 5 to 7 people. We do have a queen size bed, and I say queen. It supposedly is a queen. It's more like a double size mattress. Matter of fact, we replaced the original one with one that we bought from IKEA that exactly fits. And me being 5'11", that mattress is small. My feet hang off the end, but it's fine for Sheila. She's a little bit shorter. So anyway, there is a bunkhouse in the very back that has two bunk beds, perfect for the kids. It also has a jackknife sofa that converts into a bed, and the table converts into a bed. So like I said, you can get 5 to 7 people pretty comfortably in there. It's it's a little tight to work around each other, but everybody gets cozy and everybody gets familiar. And there again, you're only in the rolling hotel, or the rolling earthquake as I call it, just pretty much to sleep. We cook outside. We bring our Blackstone, connect it to the gas fitting, so we have an area to cook outside. But there again, for most of the places that we go to, like Disney, we enjoy eating out at the restaurants there. So the nice thing about this, there again, as far as a storage unit, there's rear storage that we keep our canopy, camp chairs, a stand fan, and a little mini camp table in. And our front storage has tools, the electrical connections and hookups, the hoses, and that's where we store our hitch as well. But most importantly, Ruger really likes it, and that's what's important. So let's take a walk around it. Probably the biggest downside to a travel trailer is the size of the beds. This one supposedly was a queen. They call it a queen, but a camper queen is much, much smaller than a queen size bed that you would have in your house. Residential mattresses are considerably bigger than a travel trailer mattress. And the one that came with it was very, very lumpy. Could never get a decent night's sleep in it. So what we did is we measured, and the closest that we came size-wise, we found one from IKEA, and it fits almost exactly to the size that we need. But the downside is I am 5'11",
and my feet hang off the end, but it's much more comfortable than a lumpy standard camper mattress. But like I said, that's one of the downsides for people that are taller. Camper mattresses are not your friend, but for Sheila, it's perfect. So this here is a curtain that we made because for some reason, when they built this trailer or sold it to us, there was no curtain on this window. Every other window in the camper has either a blind or some kind of window covering, but that one in particular, like that one, has a little Venetian blind. This upper bunk did not have a curtain on it, so we took a scrap piece of bamboo that we had, 2 command hooks and some fabric, and made a curtain that blocks out all the light, or most of the light. It's very bright outside right now, but as you can see, it's decently dark inside the upper bunk. Probably actually a little bit darker in the upper bunk than the lower bunk, even with a standard curtain.
Now we have had to do a couple of small repairs on the camper, and you know, anytime you have a camper like this, you're going to have little incidents and maintenance items. So the first of which, we did have to replace some weather stripping that had come loose. It had deteriorated a little bit and come loose, so I replaced that. And another item that when we first bought it, I noticed that one of the speakers was kind of tore up and blown up. So that was on my list to replace the speakers with some new waterproof speakers. And you can see the process here.
Another neat thing that we figured out is that we don't really use the shower in our bathroom, but it's almost perfect for this size of tote to fit inside the tub. And we have each one of them labeled with what's in them. So we have shoes, we've got towels, we've got a bath one, and I'm not sure what's on the bottom, but 4 of them fit nicely. I think we might even be able to fit another one on top, but I don't know that we've ever tried because we've never needed to. But that keeps stuff in storage, and it actually will stay pretty well when we travel. If I'm concerned about it, I have a tension rod that I can place top to bottom and keep that from shifting during travel. As you know, these have a tendency to move about everything around while you're driving, but back here seems to be okay because it's probably one of the most stable areas in the whole trailer is behind the axle.
Well, thank you for joining me to walk through our rolling earthquake. And the reason I call it a rolling earthquake is by the time you get to wherever you're at, no matter where you put stuff, it has moved, it's shifted, it just bounces down the road, and it shakes like crazy. So, you know, you just have to secure everything as best you can and know that it's going to be moved by the time you get there. So, anyway, I will see y'all next time.